This week, there actually were a couple of exciting announcements in fashion, so let's just go ahead and jump in. It shouldn't be a long video, but an interesting one nonetheless. Oh, I'm Adriana. Thanks for coming back. If you're new here, then I am just a girl who talks about fashion, just a regular girl who has a shopping problem. If you're not new here, we still locked in, twin. Thanks for returning. So let's jump in. It's gonna be a pretty short video this week, actually. I know I said it every week and then it ends up being like 30 minutes, but for real, this week it's gonna be a short video. So all last week, there were rumors swirling around that Alessandro Michele, the previous creative director for Gucci, would be replacing Pier Paolo for Valentino. I kept seeing that the rumors were swirling on every fashion Instagram page. And then a few days later, it was announced that they would be canceling their menswear and haute couture shows for the season. So then I was thinking, there will be an announcement soon. I don't know if they're going to announce Alessandro as the new creative director, but they're going to announce someone as a new creative director. 2 days later, I get online and literally I could not scroll on Twitter or Instagram without seeing that it had been announced that Alessandro Michele was indeed replacing Pier Paolo for Valentino. Let's talk about what this could look like. I think that this is a good replacement. I don't know, when I look at all of his previous shows for Gucci, I honestly don't know who else Valentino would have picked to be the replacement. I feel like it's a good step in the direction for Valentino. I'm very excited to see what Alessandro is going to do at the brand. I feel like there are a lot of Gucci pieces that he sent down the runway that look pretty similar to Valentino, or that he could kind of not necessarily recreate for Valentino, but that would look good in some Valentino lines. A lot of lace dresses that he did for Gucci would look really good with Valentino. Valentino also does a lot of lace dresses. Alessandro did a lot of ornate headpieces and a lot of kind of romantic Italian looks at Gucci, and that would fare well at Valentino. Also, they do that sometimes. A lot of floral, of course. Alessandro did that, and Valentino does that as well sometimes. I'm super excited for the future. Now, I know I complain a lot about them recycling the same creative directors and not necessarily letting a lot of new, fresh looks into the scene as far as creative directors are concerned. But honestly, like I said, I don't know who else they would have chosen for the role. And I don't know if I want to see what a new young creator would do at such an established brand. They might mess it up. I'm looking at you, Dimna. But yeah, I'm super excited. That was like the major news that came out last week in fashion. So let's move on to the next subject. Sidebar, now that we're talking about the Valentino thing, because Pier Paolo is also speculated to replace Demna for Balenciaga, which hopefully that is true. Hopefully, I honestly don't care who replaces Demna at Balenciaga, as long as somebody does. I'm so tired of this social experiment he's doing with that brand. I was done so many other times before, but I was definitely done with the tape bangle situation. I'm over it. So hopefully somebody replaces Demna. And I believe he's also in talks to replace Matthew Williams as Givenchy, because he did recently step down. So again, very excited to see what's in store for a new Valentino. And also wherever Pier Paolo goes, I will follow. I love his work. And I know that he will, again, let's all get together and pray. Let's hold a prayer circle and hope that he replaces Demna, please. So Cowboy Carter finally released. Beyoncé came out. I want to say it's her 8th studio album. I have been documenting everything she's been doing surrounding the album. I believe I spoke about her appearance at the Super Bowl and her announcement after. I believe I spoke about her Essence cover. And then also last week she showed us her album cover, which was I mean, it's a Beyonce. I don't have anything bad to say about Beyonce. I'm not necessarily like in the beehive or anything like that, but I'm definitely a fan of creativity. I'm definitely a fan of somebody being a perfectionist and perfecting their craft and taking it seriously. So I am excited anytime she comes out with anything, because it definitely does give like a shift in the culture every time. Now, I have to say, controversial yet brave statement. Cowboy Carter, I think, is eating Renaissance up. I liked Renaissance. I listened to it a lot when it first came out. But I might like Carter Cowboy a little bit more, or Cowboy Carter, whatever it's called, child. I like him more than Renaissance, okay? That's what I want to say. You know, anytime Beyonce releases anything, she starts to do her tours and starts to do all of these covers and all of these editorials. This time, she was W Magazine's first ever digital cover star. On the cover, she wore a fur coat that was a part of the new Alexander McQueen collection that just showed a couple of months. It was a couple of weeks ago, bro. I was about to say a couple of months ago. It literally just came down the runway like maybe 2 weeks ago at most. She also wore some new Chloe. She wore the cream short, like ruffled jumpsuit with the leather cape on top. And I believe she has on, in another image, she has on maybe a lace Gucci dress. I believe that dress is Gucci. If not, I'll put up, as I always do, a little note of what it actually is. But knowing me, it's Gucci. Your girl eyeballs designers, okay? So to supplement the album, she also released a couple of other images and photo shoots. In it, I know in one image, she wore a Ruslan Baginski like cowboy hat with the Willie Chavaria blazer. She also wore a wife beater. I'm sorry, that's not politically correct anymore. We're calling them tank tops now. So she wore a white tank. A white cutoff tank with some Louis Vuitton by Pharrell chaps. She also wore at another event, it wasn't for the album, but because she only comes out when she's promoting something, we'll say it was album promo. She went somewhere wearing a gold, it looks like LeMay, honestly, a gold Ralph Lauren jumpsuit. I don't know where she was going. This was on Instagram, so it could have been going anywhere. I want to say it was also the day before the album actually released. But she hit Instagram wearing a faux fur coat by the Attico with some Jimmy Choo Blake boots. I really love that look. That's my vibe. So it was super cute. Honestly, I like this. I know it was a lot. People didn't like the platinum blonde hair on her, but I really love the hair on her. I love this whole era. Maybe it's because I'm a Texas girl also, and country. I'm very country. And so I just like all of the looks that she's given so far. I like all of the images that she's come out with so far. I really like this era more than I like the Renaissance era. Again, I know that's a controversial yet brave statement. However, I'm just a girl from Texas. So of course I'm gonna like the cowboy era more than I like the ballroom era. Although I love that era too. Oh, also yesterday she did an album signing in Japan, which random. Anyway, she must already have to be there for something else. But she did an album signing and a meet and greet in Japan where she wore a latex dress. I can never remember the brand name. I want to say it's Atsuko Kudo. If not, then I'll correct myself as usual. But it was a brown latex dress. She wore brown heels with it. I want to say she wore like a brown trench with, of course, a cowboy hat. Again, I love this new aesthetic. I like this era. I like where she's going. There's speculation that part 3 is going to be a rock album. Some people on Twitter are saying it's going to be a gospel album. I don't want to sound like a heathen or nothing, but I don't want to hear no whole gospel album from Beyonce. The only gospel album I want to hear is from Fred Hammond. So do with that information what you will. Praise God, though. Happy birthday. Or happy birthday. He is risen. It's the day before Easter. On to the less important topics of the week. That sounds so shady, but it is less important than Beyonce and Valentino news. But anyway, Megan Thee Stallion did a spread for AdWeek. Now that I'm talking about it, I really don't know what she would have been doing. I didn't read the article, obviously, because I don't know what she did while she was on the cover of AdWeek. Oh, She has a concert coming this summer, so it was probably about the concert this summer. We'll go with that. In it, she looked really good. I only remember like a brown look that she wore. There's a gnat in my house. That's why I just jumped. I'm not going crazy. I just remember a brown look that she wore. And then also, I remember there was an image of her with a hat. It's very like high fashion editorial. Again, for AdWeek. But anyway, I just like anytime Megan wears anything other than spandex.
Ooh, is that shade, Phaedra?
Moving right along. Nina Chanel Abney has a new collection coming out with Air Jordan. She's done a collection with them before and it sold out immediately. This was still back in my days where I was still trying to get on the sneakers app and win the raffles or whatever. I don't do that anymore because they piss me off way too many times in the past. They started not letting me get my shoes and I was out, child. I'll just buy something else. But anyway, she has a new Air Jordan collab coming out, and she's coming out with her own pair of threes. I believe, if I remember correctly, they're like a green color and they're super cool. Nina Chanel Abney is an artist. I want to say her style of art would be similar to Cubism, kind of. It's really cool, like African-American artwork. She also had a collaboration with Uno before, and she has her own Uno cards. Actually, I own them. Give me just a second, and I'll show them to you. And it'll perfectly describe what kind of art she does. Okay, so boom, we're back. Like I said, she has a collection. She's come out with her own Uno cards before. This is what they look like. This is the cover. So this is the kind of art she does. The cards are really cool. So let me just show one or two. So they look like this. Can you see that? So this is what her artwork looks like. Super cool. Would that be considered Cubism though? Like, I don't even know how to describe, like, this is what her artwork looks like. And then I'll show what her last collection with Jordan looked like as well, and you'll get a good idea. And maybe I'll pop up some pictures of her artwork since I'm talking about her so much. But I think that's really cool that she has done so many collaborations with so many different brands. I think it's cool anytime Black artists get their shine. So I did want to highlight that she has a new Air Jordan 3 coming out. Make sure to purchase those. Kid Super has a collaboration coming out with the Brooklyn Nets. He also had a collection last year with Louis Vuitton. It showed during Paris Fashion Week of last year, so it had to have been like their fall winter 2023 collection. That was really cool. I'm not sure what a collection with a sports team would look like for Kid Super. He does, sidebar, this has nothing to do with his collaboration with the Brooklyn Nets, but he does have a couple of pieces that I want to buy. He has this cool like Kissing Faces bag that I'm probably gonna buy, and it's really, I think it's only like $250, so I need that. I might get it in like 3 different colors. So I'm interested to see what this Brooklyn Nets collaboration would look like. A lot of the models that came down the runway for his show for autumn winter 2024 had on the hats with the B, the Brooklyn Nets hats. So I guess that was supposed to be a little teaser, a little sneak peek. So again, we'll see what that looks like, but the collaboration was teased already and it's been officially announced this past week. So pictures were just released for Vivian Westwood's autumn winter 2024 collection. Lots of jumpers, that's what the UK people call sweaters, child, but cool sweaters. It's basically all the things you would think of when you picture Vivian Westwood. Plaid sweaters, a lot of utility skirts and jackets that I really loved. I really want this one like jacket and skirt combo situation. I like Vivian Westwood. I really love a lot of her bags. They're reasonably priced. Of course, everybody loves the chokers. I love the construction of her pieces. And yeah, I'm probably gonna, as usual, buy something from that collection. So like I said at the beginning, there were a couple of important announcements this week in fashion, a couple of not so important announcements that I just sprinkled in there because they were cool to me. Thanks for coming back. Make sure you watch last week's video because for some reason I didn't get a lot of views on that video. That sucks. Make sure you like, make sure you're subscribed, make sure that you tell your friends, tell a friend to tell a friend, and make sure to come back next week.